I think that the best way to understand the dangerous D-Box is to see it in action, in an actual working room. In this case, it is replacing the built-in monitoring section of a vintage Neve console. We like the D-Box better. Let me show you the features. Let's talk about the input section. There are 4 separate inputs, one labeled sum, one labeled analog, and then 2 digital ones which have a built-in D2A converter, high-quality D2A converter. Both digital inputs, here and here, can take AES or SPDIF. The connectors in the back are XLRs, suggesting AES, but with an adapter you can feed them SPDIF and that's no problem whatsoever. The key here is that the converter is high quality. We use it as our main reference converter. And you're not listening to all your digital signals through the same converter. You're not comparing converters, you're actually comparing the signals. That changed everything for me. The analog input section has some cool features, let me show you. If you notice, when I hit analog, sum goes off, and when I hit sum, analog goes off. So you can listen to either or, but you can change that. Check it out. There is a setup mode. To enter the setup mode, you press these 2 buttons at the same time, and it flashes a little bit like a stoplight in a deserted town in the Midwest. And then say you hit the sum button here and get out of setup mode. Now when I hit analog, sum stays on. So I can listen to both these things at the same time. I can actually listen to a digital input at the same time too. It's kind of cool. But I can revert to a normal mode by just entering setup mode, removing the sum thing, and there you go. It's now exclusive. Very practical. Another cool feature is this. The analog input can be calibrated for either +4 or -10. Say you want to connect an iPod to your D-Box. If you connect it on a +4 input, even on stun, you won't hear much. So what you do is you enter setup mode, hit the analog button. When it's lit, you're on -10. And now you can blast yourself with your iPod just as loud as you blast yourself with your DAW. When they are not used for setup mode, these 2 buttons are respectively a speaker switcher and a mono button. The speaker switcher obviously is very useful because it's nice to have a big pair of speakers and a small pair of speakers, or also known as good pair of speakers and a bad pair of speakers. The good pair of speakers being for you to have fun all day while you work, and the bad pair of speakers for you to know what it'll sound like for everybody else in the world. The mono button is still crucial. It's the 21st century, although it doesn't always feel like it, so we don't deliver in mono. But hitting mono really lets you focus on what's in the middle of your mix. And that is usually the vocal, the bass, the snare, the bass drum. Hitting mono and the small speaker button, that is a real telltale sign to know if your mix is good or not. The D-Box is a very complete cue system. It has a Talkback with a Talkback microphone and a Talkback level and a Talkback button. Why do you need a Talkback? Well, say you don't like to hang out with singers too much, you can exile them to the next room and you can tell them to do it again without having to scream at them through the door. You can just do it again. Practical. This is cool because it has also a feature called moment toggle. Let me show you. If you hit it and keep it hit, it stays on, you can talk to your singer. If you hit it short, it latches. So you can explain why they have to do it again. And it works both ways, meaning say it's latched. You can say, oh, that was great. Let's just do another one for security. And then you can do a side note to your producer. That was really bad. We need another one. And then you can start talking to the singer again and say, I'm ready whenever you are. Incidentally, the moment toggle works also for speakers. So say you just want to go listening to the small speakers for a second, then get back to the big speakers. And it works also for mono. Same thing. The Talkback system is fed to the headphones output, but it's fed to it after the pot. Why would anybody do that? Well, if you take the volume all the way down, the only thing that comes out of here is the Talkback signal, so you can use it as a slate. So how do we deal with having more than one performer, since I am very keen on keeping my own personal level? Well, we use a little red cue box by Redco or anything like it really, and we turn this on stun, connect the cue box to this, and you're good to go. As a side note, I've seen a couple studios struggle with grossly overpowered monitors and being forced to use their volume pot on the D-Box all the way down to here. That's not a good idea. The resolution on any pot is probably going to be better here. If this is your problem, the solution is simple. Just get a couple of line pads, put them in between the D-Box and the monitors, and you'll be able to use the full resolution of the pot. So that's it for the monitoring section of the D-Box. As you can see, there's a lot more to it that meets the eye.